Jim and Terry Show coming to you from the Hobbit Hole studio in the bright, warm, and it's a bit of a break from the deluge that we've been having all week, almost every day. Rain, the ditches are full. You've been having to clean your area of town too?
Yeah, the church has some problems. My ditch had to be cleared, and a few other things I can't remember, but it's been a busy week of just doing stuff.
Okay, let me throw this old thing out for you. It's a question of baptism and a question of immersion versus sprinkling. Yeah. And my dad used to always sarcastically say about my friends who were the Baptists in the crowd of my friends, much water, much faith. So I guess in Pemberley, you got room for a lot of baptisms there. You got a lot of water.
Yeah, I like the idea of baptism only because that's what's shown in the scripture. So I like that. I won't get all bent out of joint because we know the guy on the cross who said, "Remember me, Lord." He said, "On this day you'll be with me in paradise."
Does it say they dunked them?
He never got a chance to do any of that. So,
well, John the Baptist, when he was baptizing, did he dunk them, or did they wade into the River Jordan and then?
Well, I don't know. I don't know about John, but when you look at Philip when he baptized the eunuch. He said when he came up out of the water, the eunuch.
That doesn't mean below the surface. It just means out of the water.
I get, so what difference does it make?
It doesn't make any difference. Yeah. It's symbolism. It's like much water, much faith, as my dad used to derisively say.
No, I think a lot of people are just afraid of the attention. We just had a baptism last week, and two people, a young, brand new young lady and an older lady who always wanted to do it but just couldn't, and she did it, and it was relieving for her, and it was just a step she felt in her heart she needed to take. As a believer, and if you're a believer, I do recommend doing it. It's not as center shottish as you think. People want it to get over with so they can go home. So just center shottish as you think. Just do it. You'll feel better for it. I did it. I felt better for it. But sprinkling, I won't argue people to death over it, and I won't say either one is an indication of your level of faith. What's that? What do you do in a drought? Yeah.
Okay, so I don't even know where that was going. We were going off somewhere else.
Well, just enjoying the fact that today's going to be burning hot. With moisture all over the ground. It's probably going to be like a sauna.
Did you say 20 degrees?
20 degrees today.
That's amazing for us. And
chance of thunder
because
showers.
The groundwater is all at the top. It's going to be a sauna. It's going to come up from
it's going to just be a mist everywhere. But you know what? I've always said this, and I'll say it again. I'd rather complain about the heat than the cold.
Yeah, the cold is a tough one to remedy.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure where we were going to go, but
you went to the keyboard with a mission.
But do you recall what it was?
I have no idea.
No idea. Okay, so I'm going to go with this. From the speech in the White House, Trump to Zelensky, you have no cards. To Zelensky going to UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar.
With their cards.
With the cards, which are in the shape of drone technology.
Yeah.
And signing deals with Arab states who are being targeted by Iranian drones, which are being targeted because of Chinese satellite technology, also supported by Russian satellite technology. Yeah. What's wrong with this picture?
I know some people think Trump is an absolute genius, and you would have thrown up. I watched a guy who's been studying Trump for 25 years, wrote a book about just how brilliant this is. All strategic. Everything you're seeing is thought of and planned. It don't look like that way to me at all. So so that's I thought of you right away saying, "Oh no, you would just carve holes into this." Zelensky has to think like an adult. All you got to do with Trump is tick him off, and he goes off the rocker.
Throws you under the bus.
Throws you under the bus, like he tried with the Pope. J.D. Vance, being the suck he is, just went and says that wants to now teach the Pope theology. It's just crazy. He doesn't get his way with something. It's because they're nasty. It's not just that they're good operators, like Canada, which in good faith for hundreds of years have been trading with the United States. All of a sudden, because we want to do something for our nation in the midst of these trades, are all of a sudden evil, hard to reason with, terrible people.
Dairy tax
Yeah.
was evil.
Yeah, evil. When it never applied.
No.
It just never applied. It was a check valve in case something really bizarre happened, like Trump being voted in. But other than that, so it never applied those taxes he's talking about, and they're never as high as he
So
says.
it's always a bias. He's always lying through his teeth.
He's
All right,
he's a liar. That we
Let's
know.
go to J.D. Vance representing Donald Trump.
Yeah.
In the rally to get votes for Viktor Orban, who ended up
Yeah, losing horribly.
horribly.
Same thing is going to happen to Trump, I believe, if there's an election.
J.D. Vance got up there on the platform, was talking about Viktor Orban being the greatest thing since sliced white bread.
Oh,
because
isn't he the author of what we're seeing now in the States? Isn't he the author of the whole idea of this dictatorial
whatever white supremacy?
whatever? He's the author of it. Yeah. So they're all learning by him. They love him. They think he's great. When the rest of the world's going, what a horrible man.
And rejecting him.
And now his own people, even with a rigged election, he lost.
So the power of voting.
Yeah,
get out and vote. You don't like things in Canada, get out and vote. You don't like things in Ontario, get out and vote. I kept on reminding you as each election took place. A minority of people actually vote. And a minority of people actually voted for the people who won the election.
Yeah.
So a minority of a minority,
Yeah.
I think I quoted 17% of those eligible voters actually voted for Doug Ford.
Yeah.
And yet we have a majority in Ontario. So the irony is clear to me. Get out and vote. I want
That's how you
this
have to do it.
mandatory voting. Some countries do it. You turn 18 or 16, you're forced to vote. You don't get your car license renewed unless you cast your vote or show evidence that you voted.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I like the idea of get out and vote. And if you don't like Carney, quit listening every day of your life to people who, are objecting to him because they want the power to control you and won't do. I mean, just think how many times you said to yourself, nothing changes. It's all the same. So why are you listening to his naysayers?
Yes.
Just let it go for a while, give him his time, and if you don't like it in 3 years, vote him out.
It's funny, the same people who are attacking Carney now are the same people who attacked him as an advisor to Trudeau in unofficial capacity, but don't realize that he was appointed by Stephen Harper.
Yeah.
It was good for Stephen Harper, but all of a sudden it's wrong?
Yeah, well, the thing is the guy is a bona fide genius when it comes to economics, and quite frankly, pretty smart going when it comes to politics as well. Just because he wasn't in position, he dealt with people around the world. I loved it. Was it German Chancellor or maybe the EU lady? I remember when he came on stage, she goes, "Oh, dear Mark." She went, "Dear Mark." I said, that's what you want in a leader. You don't want people going, "Look at this pompous ass coming up here." You want someone to be going, "I want him to speak. I want to listen to him."
Contrast the speeches given by Trump and Carney at Davos.
Trump was a warning to Carney, who got a standing ovation. The second person ever to get a standing ovation.
Complete silence when Trump was giving his speech.
Because he badmouthed Carney. And they're going, one of these things belongs to, So everybody's got to use a little bit of their common sense. You've got Carney now. Quit concentrating on everything you hate about everything that you're hearing. He's got 3 years as a majority leader. Give him that time to do what he needs to do, and get off the hate thing. Like I just think Poilievre has made a major mistake, and I think anybody that wants Poilievre to go down and negotiate with that maniac in the South, I'm sorry, I don't think you're seeing things right. But you have that right to do that. I'm not going to call you stupid. I just don't think you see the picture. And I have a right to say that, as you think I'm not seeing Carney as the leader he is, in my opinion. But we have these opinions. Wait till voting day, and then if he gets voted in again as a majority, understand the majority wants a majority government.
The people who crossed the floor to create a majority government can also cross the floor to decrease.
Yeah, they can go back.
Can go back,
Yeah.
or other people can switch and say, well, the Liberals went too far. I'm going back to the Conservatives.
And that would have been a way Polyev could have addressed it.
Could have framed it that way.
I believe they've been blinded by a false issue or whatever, and we're going to welcome them back when they come to their senses. And I would even say, because after all, their constituencies voted them in as as conservatives. Do it that way. Don't go, they were bought. Because they're never going to come back because you're going to badmouth their name.
So, okay, is this true, or would you say it's mostly true, somewhat true, not true at all? The notion of, this is the term, rage baiting, fear mongering, stoking division, all those three things that I just said do not describe, as far as I can see, progressives, liberals, or Democrats, but does fit the shoe that you're trying to fit on the ugly stepsisters of MAGA or the far right in Canada, the separatist movements. Would you say that fear and anger are still there?
Well, especially now, because what they did is they bought into Trump's approach. I think Trump's approach is completely wrong, very unchristian in my opinion. And so I think now those who vote into that and want that, well, then I'm sorry, I disagree with you highly.
Give up the rage would be our advice from the Jim and Terry Show.
Yeah.